Hello, my fellow artists. Today we are going to have a pretty fun experiment trying to see if my $2 Academy watercolor pad from Temu is worth the $2 compared to the $12 Amazon Academy watercolor pad. I hope you guys look forward to seeing the results. I'm sure you guys are going to be shocked. Okay, today I am really excited. We are doing a video on a comparison of the Academy watercolor paper between Temu and Amazon. Hopefully the ring light isn't glaring too bad there. But I have one from Temu, one from Amazon. They are supposed to be the exact same paper. However, the difference was Amazon was between $10 and $12 for this. It's trying to find the size, 7 by 4 by 9. So basically a 5 by 7. And same thing with the Temu. So we are going to do a comparison. One of my subscribers has asked me to do that. They seen it in the art haul, so I just did. So I will list that video down in the description below if you're interested in seeing that haul. And believe me, it is a jaw-dropping haul. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and begin. This here is the Academy watercolor paper. It's a pad that I had gotten from Amazon. I have been using this watercolor for a while, or not watercolor, but this watercolor paper for a while. And then I am going to use my Winsor & Newton paint because I have used that the longest. And I am going to keep with a Sharpie the paper marked. So this way we can tell. Because once we get this all marked, and I'm going to cut up some paper, I'm going to mark the back of the paper, I want it to be a blind test. But the difference is, as I was saying, is the Amazon I pay between $10 and $12 for, where with my Temu haul, I did it one time, and I got this paper for $2. So, with the price being $2, it is really a steal of a deal. You just cannot beat it. So I want to see if this little $2 investment is comparison to the $10 to $12 watercolor paper. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and unwrap the Temu paper. We're just going to go ahead and take some scissors. So we can say that the Temu paper, oh my, is wrapped extremely well. As you can see here, it's almost a struggle to get it open. You're seeing it right here. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and mark the back of this to begin with. So this is Team Temu. And then, thank goodness, the Amazon paper. Thank goodness that was a lot easier to open. We'll clean that up later. No worries. Okay. So, and then we're going to go ahead and mark this on the front and the back. So, Amazon. So, we have Team Temu. And then we have Team Amazon. And then I wrote down what we are going to be looking for. Don't mind my messy writing. I was in a hurry. We're going to check for an even wash, gradation. We're going to do wet on wet. We're going to check the vibrancy. We're going to check dispersion, splatter, color mix, color lifting, salt, and then masking fluid. So all these tests, I'm going to try to do it as quickly as I can, but the video may be a bit longer. Like I have said, I really want to make sure it is thorough. So what I am going to do is off screen, or I'm going to probably just speed it up because I really want you to see what I'm doing, is I'm going to go ahead and first of all, we're going to open these. And so far, I want to make sure you guys can see that everything looks the exact same, but actually the Amazon one, Team Amazon, had a string or something on it. So as you can see, they're both the same size, same thickness, so no differences there. So let's go ahead and now the one on Amazon comes with these leaves. And when you get it, it actually comes packaged like this. So you do get that. Where with the Temu, you do not. However, you can use a palette knife. One of my bohong that I got from Amazon came with this bone cutter, which I was really happy about because I was going to order one from Amazon and I didn't have to after that. So yay. Okay. So the Amazon one, the first page didn't exactly come off all the way clear. Like, and what I mean by that is if you can see right here, it has a little bit of that first page. Now, once this part, you guys, isn't quite going to be a blind test. Well, it is because I honestly don't know which one is which right now. I think this is the Amazon one though. And then we'll go ahead and get to this. Now, with the disclosure of I paid $2 for this off of the Temu one. I don't know if the prices will be the same, but I'm sure if you keep an eye out, the way it seems they always have their specials. Okay, this one didn't come off all the way either clean, but it was a lot easier. So for right now, for what I can see in comparison, I'm gonna put it up here. I really need a new mic, guys. Hopefully I can get one where it's wireless. Anyway, if you look, the texture, I want to make sure it seems about the same. Now, the only thing I can see is there's a slight difference in coloring, where this is a little bit whiter and this is a little bit creamier. So we're going to go ahead now, and I am going to go ahead and I'll just put the other one up. I forgot. We can just take a palette knife. This way too, you guys can see that if you don't have one of those things, you can just use a palette knife. Just be careful because, like I just did, if you do it too quick, you can tear it. So, Oh, I'm going to go ahead and go back to what I was using. I'm just so used to using it. It just makes it a lot easier. Okay. Now, granted, this is still okay, but there is a slight tear. So, we're going to put that there. Okay, and this is Amazon. So the Amazon paper is whiter than the Temu. And then trying to get this. The only thing I do not like with blocks, when you get that, to try to get the first one started, I don't want to, okay. Trying to get the first one started is always a pain in the butt. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to mark the back. This is T, or this is, yeah, this is Amazon, this is Temu. Put it on here, Amazon, Temu. Okay. So, like I said, the first thing, I'm going to go ahead and move these out of the way just for now. Put the paintbrushes. There we go. Okay. So then, I'm going to put my notes over to the side, put this up, and we are going to begin. The first test is going to be an even wash. So I'm going to go ahead and get this paper cut up and we will begin. Okay, so I got the paper cut up. So the first one we are going to do is we're going to see if it has an even wash. So I'm going to go ahead and mark what we're doing. So this will be even wash. Even wash. Because I really want to make sure it is a fair test. So we'll just move that out of the way. And I think we'll just go ahead and use red. I'm going to use some cadmium red. And I'm making sure I mix enough because I want to use the same amount. Okay, so for the even wash, we're going to begin with this one. I want to make sure the color is rich enough. Okay, so there's the even wash. Then the next thing is gradation. Okay, so we got gradation. We're going to start with darker. And then moving down. Same thing with here. Running our brush, dabbing it, and then moving it down. Okay, So we're going to go ahead and put those aside to let those dry. And then we're going to do the next group. And then mixing it up just in case. I don't know what it is. We're going to do wet on wet. Okay. And then for the wet on wet, we're just going to go ahead and take some ultramarine blue. I don't want to do all the same colors. I think that would be pretty boring. So get up a good mix of that. And then I am going to wet each one of these because we want to make it quite fair. Making sure everything's all even. Hopefully, let me check, make sure I'm on camera. And I am. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and hang on, because I want everything to be this, try to get it as same as I can. Now, there's a little mark there, but I don't think it's going to jeopardize anything. Because I want to actually see. I don't even know what that is, but that's okay. We will figure it out. Oh. And put a little bit more pigment over here because you can't do one and not the other. Okay, so there is our wet on wet. Wipe up my mess here. Okay, so there's our wet on wet. Rinse in our brush. And then our next one is Vibrancy. And what better color to do Vibrancy than yellow? So we're going to go ahead and do the Vibrancy test, making sure our brush is nice and clean. And taking that cadmium yellow. Cadmium yellow is a gorgeous, and taking some more because we want it to be the same. Okay, and then dispersion. We're gonna go ahead and do that. So for dispersions, I'm going to go ahead and wet it. Get some water and wet this one. And then I'm going to go ahead and take that cadmium yellow, and then I'm just gonna go underneath it to get it going on both, and then we'll see for dispersion. So we're gonna go ahead and set those over to dry, being careful. I don't want to think that needed a little bit more water. Okay, trying to make sure everything is pretty even. And then on this, we got the color mix. We'll do splatter last. So we got, I'm not really worried about splatter because on any one you can kind of see, but I want to do the color mix. So we got color mix. And then color lift. So we got color mix. And then color lift. And then we'll probably have to cut up another paper because we still got color, salt and masking fluid. So, and that's fine. So first thing we're going to do is I want to wet both of these for the color mixing. Because like I said, I want everything to be as much as possible and the same thing. And then we're going to go ahead, take some of this yellow, or taking some of this red. And then we're going to mix it with some ultramarine. So we'll go ahead and see how it mixes on the paper. And then I want to color lift. So with the lifting, I want to go ahead and use the ultramarine blue because I know it is a color that can lift. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this Princeton Snap. It's just a half shader. And I'm just kind of wetting it and dabbing it off. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. And then we can go ahead and I want a pretty dark mix. So go ahead and take some indigo. Because I want to add the salt. So making sure this is wet. And I want to put salt into it. Now, I might have got salt on the others. It kind of went everywhere. So if I did, we will find out. So that's the salt test. And then we got, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm not looking because I got to do the last two tests. So, okay. So I have no idea what is what. But we need to do some masking fluid. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to be relatively quickly on this because, and we're just going to just put it right here. And then we'll be able to splatter on this too. I'm just going to sacrifice this whole thing. So we're going to go ahead and let that dry. I need to rinse off my brush. If you guys are using masking fluid, you want to either use some soap on your brush or be very quick with it. I think you got like 10 seconds or something before it starts. And then, so now I'm going to just go ahead and we're just going to splatter. So now I'm waiting for this stuff to dry, for our samples to dry. I'm going to go ahead and life would not be same without a dog hair, right? But I'm going to go ahead and let this dry. And then when we come back, we will look at the results. So it won't be no time for you guys. I will be right back. Okay, now that everything is dry, we can have our results. So the first thing is, disclosure. I went ahead and put the blue on because I wanted to see how over top. Well, when I did it, a lesson learned, tip, always make sure your masking fluid is completely dry before you go over it, because my wonderful Princeton size 12 Heritage round brush just had a whole bunch of masking fluid through it that I had to carefully pick out strand by strand, so would not recommend it. Without further ado, we'll go ahead. This is the splatter and the masking fluid, so we'll go ahead and remove it. And I'm just removing it with my finger. And this is where I touched it when it was wet. So that is the results for that one. And we'll do the results for this. They're both feeling about the same. I'm removing it. This is the splatter test. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but in this one, it looks like there's just a little bit of, and it could have been because of the masking fluid was not dry, but there is a little bit of a blue. That is clearly from when I messed with it, but this is the splatter test. This way you guys can see the comparison. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. And then we'll see what is what at the end. So here is the wet on wet, the vibrancy, and the dispersion. I think it's a little bit more vibrant on this one. I'm not sure exactly what that is. And the dispersion was, I think, a little bit better on this one. So out of these two, Team Temu. I think Team Temu did a little nicer job. So I would have to say I think Team Temu was the win on these two. So I'll put that aside over here. We'll just put that up here. Hopefully you guys can still see it because I want you to see the comparison. Okay, and then we have the even wash and the gradation test. And these, I'll move it up so you guys can see it. I think they look absolutely the same. I don't think there's any difference. Now, granted, for the first test, for the vibrancy and the dispersion, it could have been a little bit of human error, granted. So keep that in mind. I don't think exactly would be a deal breaker for me. And then on this, we're going to go ahead and remove the salt. And then we're going to remove the salt on this one. Okay, so I think on this test, everything pretty much looks about the same. I don't know what that is, but the color mixes, the color mixed well on the paper. It lifted. The salt test, both of the effects was the same. I think I might have rubbed a little harder on this one, but as you can see here, try to not have it move. I think everything looks about the same. So, moving on. So, here is our splatter test. And out of the two, I think This just looks a hair brighter, but like I said, I think I did this one first, and then so the colors, this one might have had a little bit more than that. Once again, this is Team Amazon, and then this was Temu. So honestly, I would have to say it's a win. I totally think the Team Temu was absolutely the same as the Amazon. So if you're interested, I think that if you went ahead and went with the Temu Academy watercolor paper, I think you would be totally happy with your results. So I hope this video helped. If you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when I put up another video. So you guys, happy painting and God bless. Bye.